Mark Bunting here at DX3 Canada. Joining me now is Lara Skripitsky. She's the Vice President and the Chief Technology Officer at McDonald's. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
So is it safe to say that anything to do with technology, you oversee it?
Yeah, I mean, my team works on the technology inside the restaurant, outside of the restaurant, like the mobile app, inside the restaurant, the kiosk, the point of sale on the counter, the technology that enables our kitchen. So I kind of say we're in restaurant, out of restaurant, front of house, back of house.
So for the average consumer, they either physically go into McDonald's or go to the drive-thru, and maybe they speak to the machine, they do some ordering, they eat, they leave. They probably don't think much about the technology, but how would you say, you touched on it there, but how would you say McDonald's Canada is utilizing technology and all the latest technology as well effectively?
Yeah, no, I think there's a couple of things. One is our ambition as a broader global brand is to modernize the burger and fry business. So we've launched the mobile app, which allows you to do mobile ordering. So you can actually mobile order from anywhere and then come to the restaurant and pick and choose how you want to get your food. So you can get it at the front counter, you can get it at the drive-thru, we'll bring it to your car if you park in the parking lot at curbside, or you can actually walk right in and go to a table. So when you think about that from a choice, convenience, and control perspective, that's where technology is a really great lever from a guest perspective to allow them to choose how, what, and where they want to interact with McDonald's. We also have McDelivery, so partnering with Uber Eats and Skip the Dishes, so you can order through your phone, from your couch. If you don't want to go outside, if it's minus 15 as it is today, you can do that and have your food brought to you. And more recently, we evolved our very popular McCafe Rewards program, the sticker on the cup, and have put it on the phone, so you can now not have to worry about the physical paper piece of keeping that card around. And we have lots of people who put stickers on the back of their phone, or they're on their computer, or they're on the back of their laptop when they're at McDonald's. You now can do that right on your phone. So it's giving our guests the choice and the convenience. That's the guest piece. When you go to the back of the restaurant, it's about how do we enable our crew to be faster, make our food safer, and make sure that we're giving our guests what they want.
So you're talking about the here and now technology that your guests, as you call them, are aware of. But then a company like McDonald's Canada clearly is looking forward.
That's right.
So go out a few years. What are you working on? What can we expect?
Well, there are a couple things that we're working on that are more near term. So again, that guest journey, that omni-channel journey, right, that we would talk about. You think about walking into the restaurant, we now know through the mobile device who you are, what you eat, how often you eat. So when you walk into the restaurant or you arrive at drive-thru, we should know who you are. And I think that's the first very natural next step, is that personalization of the journey. When we talk about things like AI or machine learning, there's a lot of really great applications that may not be as front-facing for the guest, but things like making we look at supply chain, so having a safer supply chain and a more traceable supply chain journey for the rest of the food that comes into our restaurant, or if you look at the kitchen on-demand food preparation and getting our food out faster, getting our food out hotter, all those things in terms of machine learning and data-based, technology-driven solutions, that's, I think, where our future, that next step is really interesting for us.
Steve Jobs said a few times, or maybe once, but he said people don't really know what they want until you give it to them.
Yeah,
so
agreed.
Are you listening to your guests, or are you just sort of saying, I think this is where we should go, and then they'll find out about it later?
So we listen to a couple of different stakeholders. We have our guests that are very honest with us and tell us what they want, tell us what they like and don't like. So there's that. We have obviously our owner-operators that are running great restaurants across the country. So we listen to them in terms of what's working, not working in the kitchen. How can we improve what technology? We don't always put in everything that works instantly, so we partner with them from a lot of feedback perspective. And then also we look globally. So we have, the one thing about the scale of a McDonald's is it's not just the restaurants in Canada. We can look to the US, to Germany, Australia, France, and find out what they're doing. And often we lead in some instances, and they'll take technology and things that we've implemented, but we can also pull globally, and that scalability of the solution is a lot easier because it's worked somewhere in the infrastructure. We pull it in and we're able to deploy very quickly.
I was going to ask about that. I would think that's a luxury for you in your position, knowing that you're backed by this big, well-known company, and if you want to institute something, you can.
I think McDonald's, it's a pro and a con. We are a huge global brand, so the resources that come along with that are incredible, and I've done more in my time at McDonald's and moved at a pace. We're committed to moving quickly, but also at the scale and sheer size of McDonald's can also be an inhibitor in terms of we have a very complex business model and a lot of different pieces that feed into it. So we have to be very careful about how we do and evolve things. So from a scale perspective, from a resource, the company is committed to innovate. We're on a journey of transformation. All of that is there. I think the other piece is, sometimes there is a bit of frustration at a market level in terms of how we evolve because we have a very complex business, and to put things in too quickly can sometimes be detrimental. So we measure our excitement for innovation with what's right for the business.
Thanks, Lara.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
Lara Skripitsky, VP, CTO at McDonald's Canada. Thanks for joining us here at DX3 Canada.